Welcome back for part 2 of our notes on exponential growth and decay. This will be the page 2 of your notes. So here we're kind of look more towards real world situations of situations where you use exponential growth or exponential decay and how to come up with those equations. First thing I want y'all to take a look at are the equations. Y equals a times 1 plus r to the t is our formula for exponential growth, and y equals a times 1 minus r to the t is our formula for exponential decay. When you simplify both of these equations, once you plug in your values for a and r, you end up with our same equation we started off with on the previous notes in the last video, y equals a times b to the x. Okay, so this is kind of like the process you would need to go through for a real world situation in order to end up with the same equations that we were using on the last video from the first page of the notes. First off, your 1 plus r is just, it's taking the place of the b. Okay, so that's just your b. All right, and that's for both growth and decay. All right, because 1 plus r has to be more than 1, that means this is always going to be exponential growth. Okay, and then 1 minus r has to be less than 1. So this is going to be exponential decay. Your y value in your equations is always going to represent your final amount or your total amount, whatever we're evaluating out for a given input. Okay, so this is going to be final. Your a value is still the same. It doesn't change. It's still your starting point or starting value. It's your initial amount. It's your y-intercept. Your r, okay, this is going to be your rate of growth or decay, okay, as a decimal. Okay, this part is huge, or as the president would say, it's huge, with a Y instead of an H. Ha ha ha. T is always going to represent time. This is your input or your X value. Okay. And then the examples we're going to look at right now, that's going to be time in years. Okay. So let's take a look at an example. Okay. So we're looking at a fish population in a local stream. It's decreasing. So always look for those key words. It's decreasing, which means we're going to, instead of use 1 plus r, we need to use 1 minus r. So that's going to be a 1 minus r situation. And our rate is 3% per year. Okay, so this is going to be your r. And our original population is 48,000. So that's your a value. Going back to this r here, 3% needs to be represented as a decimal. I always like to talk about snakes in the grass. Okay, if a snake's hitting in tall grass, the snake's still dangerous, even though you may not be able to see it. So you have to anticipate the danger where it may come. In this case, 3%, it's really easy to just say, oh, well, our R is 3. Let's plug in 3. But you'd be wrong. That's 3%. We have to convert that to a decimal, and it becomes 0.03. Okay? So don't get bit by the snake because you weren't looking out where you're stepping in the tall grass. Okay? So y equals, plug in your a value. In this case, it's 48,000. Okay, times 1 minus our r, that is 0.03, raised to the power of t. There you go. So that's your initial exponential decay equation. Okay, so in this case, our decay factor ends up being 0.97. Okay, all you're doing here is simplifying 1 minus 0.03, and we end up with 0.97. And then we actually can rewrite our equation as 48,000 times 0.97 raised to the t. Notice how this equation now is just like our original exponential equation we were dealing with in the last video. Okay, same thing. These mean the same thing. Okay, it's like having ice and having water. Okay, when you simplify it all, break it all down, it's the same number, they just look different. Okay, we want to find our population after 7 years, so 7 is going to be your t. So you just plug in 7 in place of the t. And we end up with 38,783 fish. That's about 3. All right, pretty cool. Not a whole lot of fish have been lost, mostly because our rate of decay is so close to 1. It's just not dropping that much. If this was closer to 0, like let's say it was like 0.03, then we'd be looking at a much drastic drop off. Okay. Remember, 0.03 was my R, that was my rate, and we had to subtract that from 1 to get our decay factor. Okay, so understand the difference between our rate and our rate of decay and our decay factor. Those are two different things. Okay, your decay factor is when you subtract your rate from 1. Your growth factor is when you add your R to 1. So let's look at a growth situation. The original value of a painting is $1,400. So the initial value is going to be our A. We're told that it's increasing. That's going to be a 1 plus R by 9%. So R is 9%. All right. So 9% needs to become a decimal. That's going to become 0.09. Now, if you're wondering, like, whoa, where's he getting these numbers from? I have no idea. Check it out. So 9. You just want to move the decimal 2 places to the left. Boom, 0.09. That's an easy way to take a percentage and convert it into the decimal. Okay, make sure you convert it to a decimal. This is the number that we want to use, not the 9, or else your numbers are going to be way off. Oh my goodness, would they be off? All right, so our exponential equation then becomes 1,400 times 1 plus our R, which is 0.09. It's not 9, it's 0.09 raised to the t. So that means for our growth factor, that's our 1 plus R, when you simplify it, is going to be 1.09. Okay. To find the value of our painting in 25 years, so that means t is 25. We're just going to plug in 25 in place of the t. And we end up with 12,072 31 cents. There you go. So over 25 years, it's gained quite a bit of value, considering it originally was 1,400. Okay, so that's awesome. That's a good investment right there. Okay. So those are 2 examples of one of growth and one of decay. And I would encourage you guys to try problems 3 and 4 on your own. I will post the answer key online, and you can check your work on those. But this should be a good starting point for you, at least on writing exponential growth and decay equations for real world situations.